What's going on, everybody? Let's Talk Jets Radio. Hope you guys are all doing well. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Thankfully, the season is almost over, 6 days away. I will be live for the Jets-Bills next week on Sunday. Final game of the year. Excited to close out this season and just move on to the offseason, our favorite time of the year that we always win. And as fans, hopefully maybe we can have a different approach this offseason compared to last offseason, where we wanted to praise every move, every hire. This is the new era of Jets football. You can't criticize anything until they're actually on the field. And then they start playing their games, and it's the same old Jets that we've seen for the last 15 years. The worst December since, 1972 of any NFL team. The worst December for the New York Jets in their history, getting blown out 20-plus points in 4 straight games. The team has quit on Aaron Glenn. There is no effort. It's amazing to me that he actually backtracked that statement today, first off. But there is no effort. This team is a colossal disaster. You have a defensive-minded head coach with a team through 16 games that doesn't have 1 interception on the year. I mean, by accident, you would think you would have a ball just drop in your hands at some point. It just shows how poorly coached they are, how uncreative the defense is, how terrible that this scheme must be, which Aaron Glenn doesn't even want to own, by the way. It wasn't his defense, it was Steve Wilkes' defense. Let's remember that. So as far as everything we talked about him being a CEO, a leader, somebody that was going to take things head on, that was going to address the culture, that was going to address the effort issues, what has really changed? And his hand-picked young quarterback has also been a colossal disaster. Let's not talk about the, pushing Aaron Rodgers out the door, who's fighting for a playoff spot next Sunday. Sam Darnold already clinched, of course. Let's not talk about any of that. I had to get those shots in there. But it is frustrating for me as a fan who watched 2 very talented quarterbacks. One that was young, that the team just failed by not putting an offensive line or wide receivers or a good coach or a good offensive coordinator around him. And then we pushed him out the door in 3 years. And then another guy who had a Hall of Fame career, busted his ass, chose the Jets, busted his ass to come back from an Achilles injury, was painted as a villain for doing so, was painted as being selfish and not being a leader, and it was all his ego that was driving him to come back. The same thing as he tried to play through injuries last year. Then he was also painted as a bad guy for trying to throw the ball to Devontae Adams in the red zone, who's fucking crushing it this year for the Rams. So let's remember all those conversations that we've had over the last couple of years about different quarterbacks and different reasons why the Jets suck. And as fans, what's starting to piss me off is that no matter what the team does, we always buy in. And that's where I tried to change my approach this offseason. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but blindly buying into what the Jets are selling, especially when it was coming from a previously fired GM who ran your entire search to find the new GM and head coach, I'm sorry, but as fans, we had a right to question everything. And it turns out, at least for now, we're right. And the bar is so fucking low that even if Aaron Glenn improves next year, what is that, a 5 or 6 win team? We were lucky to get 3 wins this year. And let's remember all the fans that were calling you bad fans when we came back and beat the Falcons, which we shouldn't have, or when we beat the Browns and Bengals, which we shouldn't have. The team should have 0 wins right now. They got lucky in 3 fourth quarters, which is the only reason they have 3 wins. So once again, we blow the tank. We'll be lucky to pick 3, maybe 2, but we're not going to be number 1. We're not going to get Mendoza. So it's the same fucking conversation that we had 5 years ago with Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson. We're going to stay number 2. We're going to get the second best guy, which is going to be a crapshoot. That's not going to be someone that's going to get you a head coach. That's not going to be someone that attracts other people to come to the Jets. The Raiders will get that. The Jets will get second best. And then can Aaron Glenn even develop a quarterback? Will the Jets even take a quarterback? Does it even make sense for the Jets to take a quarterback when Aaron Glenn is so fucking far in over his head that he should not have any part of this decision? Him or Mougey. And I have nothing against Mougey. I know he's only been here a year. You want to give him more time, maybe fine. I could possibly understand that. But the problem is that him and Glenn were supposed to be a tandem here. And you've seen nothing from Glenn. He can't develop anybody. You have players going backwards. You have guys that want to leave. Guys that are happy to leave. Sauce, Quinnen Williams. You got Sherwood and Quincy Williams playing the worst football of their careers. And this is a defensive-minded head coach. And then look at the offense. Your hand-picked young quarterback in Justin Fields that you pushed out a Hall of Fame quarterback for has been a fucking colossal bust. You decided not to draft a quarterback in the draft last year, so now we watch undrafted Brady Cook, who's not fucking ready. I mean, Aaron Glenn needs to be fired. You have 2 first-round picks this year. You got 3 first-round picks next year, and you're going to let Mougey and Glenn work together at least for this year to make these draft picks, then possibly fire at least one of them, maybe both after next year, and then what? The new coach has to inherit these draft picks or move on from them, which is the same fucking cycle that we've been going through. Maybe we draft a quarterback that the new head coach doesn't want. Either way, the writing is on the fucking wall. This position is too big for Aaron Glenn. He is not cut out for this. He is not built for this shit, like he told us. We built for this shit? No, you are not built for this shit, Aaron Glenn. You are not. Robert Saleh was better. He was a better defensive coach. The team played better. It's just facts. They have gone backwards this year. And you want to tell me all you want. He needs time to get his guys. He needs his people in here. Bullshit. There was more than enough talent, especially on defense. And I'm tired of seeing other first-time head coaches, fucking Liam Cohen, Ben Johnson, going toe-to-toe with the best teams in football on a path to the playoffs in year 1. You got Vrabel, who took a 3-win team or a 4-win team to fucking 13 wins this year. And you want to say he's got a young quarterback? Fine. Well, he also is coaching that young quarterback up. What did fucking Aaron Glenn do for Justin Fields? Like, I'm so sick of this cycle, and I'm so sick of getting to the place where we're about to be going into the offseason, where Jets content creators fucking every year do the same shit, where we hype up every move. It's content creators, it's fans, it's fucking everybody, media. We hype up every move, every signing, every draft pick, and we convince ourselves that things are going to change. And in that process, people re-up their season tickets, and they start making plans around this team. And watching what we watched yesterday, Patriot fans taking over that building, MVP chance for Drake May, and what, you probably paid 10% of what the Jets season ticket holder paid to get in the building? At what point do fans fucking wake up and stop defending this shit? Until we actually get results. When does that happen? And just look at the fucking halftime disaster yesterday with the superfan Ashley. The fact that it had to become a fucking PR disaster for the Jets to get that right. A lifelong season ticket holder whose father passed away. She had a chance to kick at halftime, and the Jets initially were going to revoke her opportunity to do so because she was a high school soccer coach. So what, the sponsor wouldn't pay? You couldn't front the $100,000 if she actually made it? I know she didn't even make it, but again, that's the whole fucking point. You could have went through all this shit, did the right thing by her, by one of your longtime loyal fans. Instead, you waited for it to blow up in the Post and Barstool, and then you go and make it right. This organization is fucking ass backwards. We've had fucking season ticket price increases, 4 out of the last 5 years? And what have you gotten back on your investment? Ross Tucker had an amazing rant on this during the game last week. What have you gotten back on your investment as a season ticket holder? The last 15 years, how many of those games have been meaningful? November and December, how many meaningful games have you watched at home in the last 15 years? And those same games, you could go on to StubHub or Ticketmaster an hour before the game, get lower level seats for probably at least half of what you paid for the upper deck. Sometimes even cheaper than that. Pennies on the dollar. So what is the perk? What is the reward for being a season ticket holder? What do you get back? What does the team do to ever have your back? They want us, as content creators, as fans, they want us to have their back and show support. Why? When have the Jets ever had our back? The constant new jerseys, trading away of players. You can't buy a jersey anymore. Guys are here 2, maybe 3 years. Even if they play well, they still get fucking traded. Sauce was a hero in this town 2 years ago. Now he's gone. And I get it. It was a decent trade. But at the same time, as fans, we got to be sick of this fucking cycle where we draft talented players and then it never moves the needle at all. We draft talented players, and it's just a countdown until when we trade them for more draft picks, hoping to hit on more talented players that will eventually trade again in 3 fucking years. It's the same fucking cycle, and it never stops. It never fucking stops. Fans need to stop defending this shit. But I did have to get my jabs in there with Aaron Rodgers and Sam Darnold, because I did take a lot of heat on this channel from a very, very vocal majority of fans that, like I was saying before, wanted to paint Aaron Rodgers as the bad guy. Meanwhile, this culture existed long before Aaron Rodgers got here. It's still existing now that he's gone. Meanwhile, he's gone somewhere else. He's had no problem fitting into the Steelers culture. They're a win away from making the playoffs. Sam Darnold, fucking 14 wins with the Vikings last year. Goes to the Seahawks with not an incredibly talented team. I mean, Njigba's great, obviously. Kenneth Walker's good, but not a crazy talented team over there in Seattle. And look what he's helped do over there. I mean, this is rock bottom for the Jets. It doesn't get worse than this. You got quarterbacks all around the league, former Jets that are playing well, or guys that we could have had, could have signed, could have drafted. We didn't want to take a flyer on a late round pick this year. I mean, it doesn't get any worse than this. Like, and where's the hope? Where are the guys that have improved this year under Aaron Glenn? Is there anybody on defense that you can honestly say has improved as a player? Like Jermaine Johnson, no. Will McDonald, no. Sherwood, no. Quincy Williams, no. Quinnen's traded. Sauce is traded. Carter's traded. DJ Reed walked. Like, what does this defense have left? There's nothing. There's literally nothing on this defense right now. You have an offensive line. You have a running back that's probably going to walk. That probably can't wait to get the fuck out of here. You have a wide receiver that you just paid that's still clearly not happy. And then what else is there? Mason Taylor? Cool. Like, the Jets have so far to go. Like, we've long said on this channel, the Jets are 2 years away from being 2 years away. And that statement reigns true right now. To think that next year or the year after, this team is suddenly going to flip the script and be a playoff contender under Aaron Glenn, that he's going to make all these changes to the culture and add enough talent. Guys are going to want to come here. Like, please. Like, what free agent is going to want to come to the New York Jets right now and play for Aaron Glenn? If you're coming to the New York Jets, you're coming here to collect a paycheck. And that's probably one of the saddest parts about watching this team for the last 4 or 5 years, and it's probably where a lot of my anger stems from, is that as fans, we take a lot of pride in being a Jet fan, right? I remember Rex Ryan with the whole play like a Jet thing. You know, you take out one of ours, we take out two of yours. Like, during that era, and even with Herm, you play to win the game, and fucking Parcells, like, you had pride in being a Jet fan. And the players that were brought in, you often felt shared in that pride, in playing like a Jet, in representing the New York Jets. Even in some of the losing years, a guy like Bilal Powell, he fucking loved being a Jet. And when you have guys that have pride in the green and white, it makes it easy to root for them, even if the team is struggling. And the last 4 to 5 years, through all the bullshit, how many players do you really feel have that pride in being a New York Jet, in wearing that uniform, and representing this city and this fan base, and turning this thing around? How many people give a fuck about that? And that's the tough part. Guys are here to collect a paycheck. There's no culture. There's no sense of team. There's no sense of unity. There aren't guys pulling for each other. This isn't a team. And Aaron Glenn has done nothing to bring any of it together. If anything, you could say it's more divided. There's more individuals now. You've pushed guys out. Guys are unhappy. Guys are playing worse than they've ever had in their careers. It's a colossal fucking disaster. And the Jets would be foolish, absolutely foolish. And I try not to say this early in the year when all the signs were there, but it's painfully obvious. Aaron Glenn is in over his head. He needs to go before more damage is done. We have 5 first-round draft picks right now over the next 2 years. That should be enough ammo to entice somebody decent to come here and start changing things for real. And my approach is going to be the same with any new coach. It's prove it, show it on the field, show me results, and then you earn that praise. If it's somebody with a proven resume, a proven leader, a proven CEO kind of guy, if you're able to get that, if one of those guys gets fired, you know, like a Harbaugh or Tomlin somehow, you know, becomes available, by all means, fucking do what you got to do. Even a McCarthy, just to right the ship for 2 to 3 years, somebody proven with a resume, fine, do it. But if it's a first-time head coach, I mean, it's got to be prove it, show it to us. Otherwise, how do we buy in? And I don't know where they're getting that guy from, but if you have any chance to entice that guy, 5 first-round picks over the next 2 years, maybe that's the opportunity to do it. But even if you think, you know, the following year might be it, okay, then, I mean, you run it back with Aaron Glenn and just waste the draft picks this year? Do you let Mougey just run everything? Do you take any say or any influence away from Aaron Glenn? There's so much that this team needs to figure out about how they're going to approach this offseason and how involved Aaron Glenn should be, because his leash should be incredibly short and the outlook should be what is in the best interest long-term for the New York Jets, not what fits whatever this fucking vision is that Aaron Glenn has for this team. that can't be part of the Jets' offseason plan or draft plan. And it probably sounds stupid, like if you're going to let him come back, you got to let him run it his way, right? Hasn't that been the problem that we always complain about with ownership meddling and all this other bullshit? But no, Aaron Glenn has not proven enough in year one to make major decisions, in my opinion, that are going to influence this team for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and possibly screw up a future head coach coming here, a future head coach having to inherit a quarterback he might not want. Like, part of my mind says the approach should be best player available. Just build a roster because you have absolutely nothing right now other than the offensive line. But if you have a talented quarterback, maybe you do draft him. You let him sit for a year behind a veteran. Doesn't really matter as much what the system is. And then if Aaron Glenn is still a disaster, maybe that next coach is then able to inherit the new kid who's got a year watching NFL football, even probably bad football, but something to work with there. I really don't know. This is me again spinning the wheels, trying to talk myself into getting excited, 2 or 3 years from now. But the reality is, Aaron Glenn to me showed what he is this year. He was all talk, no action. When it came time to actually impose discipline, when it came time to actually have the team ready to play on Sunday, he's been a failure in every aspect. And it's a shame because, as somebody that's 37, about to be 38 years old, like I grew up watching him. I grew up rooting for him. One of my favorite Jets. As a kid, I met him many times as well. Super nice. There's nobody that I would have loved to succeed or love to see succeed more in this role than Aaron Glenn. And the fact that he's just turned this so sour so quickly, like with his fights with the media and just the team looking lifeless, no creativity, no spine, no discipline, no culture, like all these things that were promised, that were built for this shit, like they're just not. And he's clearly not, by the way he talks to the media, by the way he responds. He's clearly trying to I think he has, like I said this a few months ago, I think he's got a lot of Jets PR people in the front office that are just in his ear telling him what to say. You could say this, you could say this is how you answer these questions. Don't answer these questions, say this for these questions. Like, the Jets have this whole fucking PR ring that they've had this shit, in their eyes, they've had it mastered for fucking I don't know how many years, where they just have all the answers to all the questions. They know what the stories are going to be because it's been the same fucking story for 15 years. It's been the same cycle of stories of bad coaches, blowout losses, bad quarterbacks, fucking all of it. It's been the same cycle. So the Jets PR team, they're fucking used to it, and they're able to prep Aaron Glenn for what to say. I was hopeful that Aaron Glenn was going to be his own guy, not give a fuck what the Jets wanted or Woody wanted or anybody else wanted, and he was going to impose his will and his culture on this team. And if this is it, he should fucking go now. So it's a shame what Jet fans have had to go through for the last 15 years, and it's a shame that the organization hasn't done more to try to give back to those that have stayed loyal, to those that have stayed season ticket holders, that have spent their money, that have spent their time, that have, sacrificed other things. I think we're all ready to see this team fucking be competitive, be a team that we could be proud of, and have fun on Sundays watching them and rooting for them. And it just seems like that day is still so far away, especially if the Jets are planning to run it back another year with Aaron Glenn and let him have a say in this offseason and in this draft. So, hope to be wrong, but the reality is that I have not been wrong with a lot of major decisions that we have fought about on this channel in recent years, but we will see what happens. But again, wishing you guys a very, very happy new year. Talk to you soon.